welcome in everybody, wherever you are, however you may be listening. This is your Pickem Championship Show. And of course, we are coming to you live from Crucible Brewing here in Everett, Washington. If you are in the Pacific Northwest, definitely come out, have a beer with us, watch the game after this show. If you're playing along with us, be sure to get your picks locked in. I did see a couple of people without their stuff locked up. And once kickoff happens, it's a wrap. So be sure to get those locked in because it's hard to win if you don't play. Herb, how's it going, man?
Man, it is a great night, man. I was out to eat with my wife, having a good night. Bo texted me, said, Herb, I need you to be on the show. So she's still at the restaurant eating. I guess she'll catch an Uber home, but I had to be here for this, man. I appreciate it.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to come out there for Senior Bowl next year and get murdered. So that's great.
Yeah, probably. Hey, but the good thing is you only need to buy a one-way ticket. You don't have to worry about going back.
That's true. Get to save money while doing it. Weirdly, fun fact for Mobile, they actually do have a lot of murders there.
Mobile's over there like, wait, hey, why are we catching strays? It's an NFL Pick'em show.
There's not a lot going on, but they have a really cool Navy museum. They are the first to tell you that they started Mardi Gras. And then just about every Uber will tell you that their homicide rate is among the most in the country.
There you go.
So that's cool. Wen, thanks for joining in. Appreciate you watching.
What's up, man? What's up? People tune in, they're like, what did I just tune into?
Next on this episode of Snapped.
Good luck to everybody out there.
And of course, for all of you watching, naturally, you've seen her before. He's with me on my Wednesday morning show. But if you haven't, you definitely have to check out his channel. You got that Tuesday thing.
Which is now that Wednesday thing.
That's right. With your brother, you know.
With my brother, yes, sir.
So,
Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. Yep. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. And then we kind of do like you on Saturday nights. We recap the games late and have a drink while doing it. So those are always good shows. The more you drink, the more lucid you get, and the better the opinions are.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So for those of you watching as well, you have to deal with the fact that I got a new laptop that I set up literally just before arriving. And so if it looks like I'm just staring off into space, it's because my new laptop cannot find my camera. And so I'm using the laptop camera that I am not used to using. So I'm going to be randomly staring at the wrong camera. So I have that going for me. So this
we're assume it's the beer.
We need a friend, buddy system and all. So in any event, we're making it through it. We are headed into week 5, and week 5 is when you start to see which teams are real, which teams aren't. You're kind of through that first part of the year where, the first 2 games are absolutely preseason for starters, right?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, generally your starters aren't really playing in the first couple of games anymore. Week 3 sometimes can still be a little rocky. Week 4, in theory, you should start seeing real football. By week 5, if you're not seeing what a team is, you're seeing what the team is, right?
Yes.
And so
you can't talk yourself into something else after week 5. You're like,
exactly, right? I mean, like if you're 3-2, 2-3 in week 5, at the end of week 5, I should say, you can still rectify that a little bit. But when you're in that 1-4 kind of range, that's tough. That's tough to come back from. So it'll be at the end of this weekend. Especially if you watch our Wednesday show, we do our power rankings. That's when you start to see teams really move around, start to kind of solidify who they are. Obviously, things start to change when people get hurt. There's a lot of injuries. We're going to go over some of those. But, at the end of the day, by week 5, if your team hasn't kind of figured out, hey, the games matter, they don't anymore.
Right.
So-
Right.
so
It's a
there is
little too
that.
late. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. The point you made about the preseason, I mean, that's perfect because they don't do preseason. Game 1 and 2, it can be a crapshoot. That's why you watch, the Chiefs go through 0 and 2, and then all of a sudden figure out after after 2 games, like, okay, maybe we'll play better. So,
Well, see, some of that I think has to do with the fact that Xavier Worthy came back, right?
Sure.
So when they were out there and their number 1 target was their number 3 target, that doesn't exactly bode well. And of course, your main tight end would be tight end 2 for most teams at this point. It's like,
Right.
okay, you have no receivers, you have a tight end that is, a little slower than he used to be. And so, yeah, I mean, you're not looking as good as you've been, especially because the defense isn't as good as it's been over the last couple of years.
Right.
So obviously we're going to talk about KC later, but it's those types of things. Like, they're going to be fine. I think the biggest surprise so far has got to be Baltimore, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
because it's not like they're missing anybody. Their team they got all their guys. They just can't hold on to the ball anymore.
Right. Now, and they got banged up, I guess, in this last game. And I know people, no, you were losing before that started to happen. The defense has not been, what it used to be like for years now.
Yep.
Now the fumbles, like Derrick Henry, I can remember maybe like 2 fumbles in his whole career, and he's already, like back-breaking games. You're playing the better competition. It's like you're playing well enough to prove that you belong, but you still can't finish games. Like in Buffalo, it's basically all the problems you've had over the years. They're all happening in these first couple games now. Because it used to be the defense was bad, but hey, the offense was score. We're holding the ball. We're at least in it. Now it's no, we can't do this. We can't do that. They still go back to the fact that forgetting Derrick Henry exists at times. Like, it's just everything on the team.
Only in the playoffs. Only when it matters. Like that.
Yes. Like a 2nd and 1, and they're like, let's keep Derrick Henry off the field, against the Chiefs. I'm like,
so that was wild, right?
Yes.
You run 3 straight plays without Derrick Henry on the field?
Yes.
I mean, how do you that dedicates at least 2 linebackers.
Yes.
So even if you weren't going to actually hand him the ball, you got to have him on the field.
Yes.
So
your whole game plan. Tony Romo's pointing it out. Okay, look, the defensive coordinator will be thinking this. Okay, Derrick Henry's out there. This is what we're going to do. But he's not. Yeah, okay, here's a freer style defense. We're going to shut you down. And guess what? They end up having to kick a field goal. So
exactly.
Not surprising.
Oh, see, Rob, love you, buddy. Wings in tow. I like it.
There you go.
I guess we might as well kick this thing off. We got Thursday Night Football. Obviously, again, if you're playing along with us, be sure to get your picks locked in. It is crucial because this isn't you miss this one and you can still get the other ones. It locks on Thursday, which means you get a 0 out of 14 this week, but still, that hurts. So be sure to get that locked in. We have a division rivals, they're division rivals, but this is not going to be the game that you thought it would be a couple of weeks ago, because you were looking at the Rams as probably the division winner, right? You knew San Fran was going to take a step back because they had to lose some players to get under the cap, stuff like that. But now with the amount of injuries, Brock Purdy's ruled out, Jennings is out. I mean, you name it.
Pearsall's out too, right? Yeah.
Pearsall's out. Ayuk's out. CMC is going to hike himself the ball and then run with it.
Yes.
And that's not going to be enough to get around LA. So this game here, 92% of people are with LA. And that actually seems like a low number. Funny enough,
the 8% are all family.
100%. Yes. Yeah. It's staff and family, and no question. So you have the Rams are 8.5-point favorites.
Right.
It's funny because they should demolish the Niners.
Yeah.
But it is still a division game.
Yeah.
And so that's where you're like, well, I mean, man, I don't know. An over under of 43.5. I do feel like that's probably low. Mac Jones is going to score some points.
Right.
You can score on the Rams. It's not like their defense is a juggernaut or anything, but they have a very well-balanced team. I would take the over of the 43.5. The 8.5 for the spread is tough. This
That's
one
scary.
seems right. Like it's going to be either 7 or 10, right?
Yeah.
And so, Vegas is like, yeah, we're cashing in on some of it. But I'm leaning towards the 7. And so I'm gonna go with the Rams or with the Niners cover, but I got the Rams winning outright.
Yeah. Rams for sure. I don't even know who yet. Mac Jones is my guy. Which, by the way, shout out to Brock Purdy for returning to lose last week and then sitting out again. So the only loss of the season he came back for. So that's kind of hilarious in that. But
yes.
I'm not even sure he's going to be throwing to. If you had told me 5 San Francisco offensive players were going to be out, like C-Mac would have been my first, second, and third guess. And somehow he's the healthiest of the bunch. That's wild to me. But you could easily foresee a situation where where the Rams are up 14 late, and Mac puts together a drive and they score a touchdown. You know what I mean? Lose by 7, that sort of situation. I don't think they're going to threaten them, but I absolutely would not take Rams minus 8.5.
Well, so, and it's funny because even though I was on that side, I don't even know if I believe myself there because they only have 4 people on their injury list. 2 of them are on IR, right? So they've been out anyway. And the other 2, Higbee is doubtful. And then they have an offensive tackle that's doubtful. And that's the literal extent of their list. So, I'm actually starting to think maybe they cover.
I think if you're doing this much debating, you don't play it that way. Unless it's a pick 'em like where you have to.
Money in my pocket for sure.
Okay. But I mean, it's one of those I could sit and go back. I like your thoughts better on the over, which also told you why I was a terrible. Robert, I had a terrible week. I think my reign at close to the top was like a week, and then I looked at the middle of last week. I had like 5 picks right, and I was like, oh my god. Then the worst part about it is when I went back to look at my picks, I was like, I'd probably only change one of those if I was really thinking hard. So I was just going to be really bad this week. So
it's funny. I actually stopped changing picks. Every time I've changed a pick, outside of one where a quarterback went down, literally every other time, my switching it got it wrong. So now, even when I'm like, man, I should lean the other way, I'm like, nope, leave it alone.
Yep. I changed one pick tonight. When we get to that game, I'll tell you. I changed it right before we got on here. Otherwise, everything else is what it is. I try to go through and say how many upsets I'm going to get, but you saw how that failed me last week. So now it's just like,
I mean, if you're banking on upsets, that's a rough way to play because you'll get those couple of weeks that it works out, but you're going to get like 13 weeks that it doesn't.
This is true.
It's funny though, because, everybody had their chance to put me away, and I'm just hanging around. So I've clawed my way back into that 3rd spot.
I feel depressed already. Stupid show.
You can't let me hang around.
Yeah. Where's Raj to say this whole thing is rigged on a pick 'em?
You can't let me hang around. I'll mess around and win.
If you let me hang around, I'm not going to win.
Now that I say that, I'm going to get smoked this week.
Oh my god! What's up?
Checking in.
Good to see you. Thank you.
So, all right, let's move into the international game. We have the Vikings at the Browns, I guess. I always find that funny. The home team, you're 3,000 miles from home, so that's not really that local. But the Vikings are the favorite here when it comes to Vegas and the voting. Now, they're a 3-point favorite, which doesn't mean a lot. But this is the battle of the backups, right? So you have Carson Wentz getting the start here. You have Gabriel getting his first start. So obviously, Wen's going to love that. I do like the Vikings here. And, that's not a dig on Gabriel, but this is a rough one to start out on. The 3-point line is probably going to be like 1 point, right? Because the other issue with this game is the Vikings have like 3 offensive linemen that are hurt. So Garrett's going to eat that up. Yeah. They have let's see, they got a guard that's out. They got an offensive tackle out. Center is questionable with a concussion. So I'm going to go with probably not. I take that back. There's four offensive linemen because there's another guard that's out. So it's funny because I still think the Vikings find a way to win this game.
Right. 10-9.
Exactly. Yeah. It's literally going to be that kind of game. And
what's up, Jonathan?
What's happening, Jonathan?
Bama Standard guy, recruiting guy too as well.
So, nice. Yeah.
He told me we're going to win this weekend, so I'm loving him right now.
Hey, let's go.
Appreciate you stopping by, man.
But yeah, so I mean, it's I'm rolling with the Vikings here, but I don't feel good about this pick. And if you're putting money on this game, I don't know why you're doing it. There's so many things that go against wanting to put money on this. Obviously, it's backup quarterbacks on both sides, tons of injuries on both sides, international game.
There's nothing right about this.
And you can tell that nobody has confidence in this. The over-under on this is 37. That's as low as a game gets. Like I
would not pick over, though.
What's that?
I would not play the over, though. That is
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if one of these teams hits 20. So I told you I switched one of my picks.
Okay,
this was the game because I went. You know what? Go with the Browns. I took the Browns at home. You saw Jackson Dart in put a little life into the Giants last week. Anytime you can throw in the Giants reference as the basis for your pick, you're going to win the pick. So because there's a quality organization.
Yes.
What's up, Tristan?
That is the deal. No, I'm with you. So I've gone back and forth on this probably 5 or 6 times where I've literally clicked the other one, hit save, and then the end of the day, I'm like, but maybe not. And so, probably ends up a tie, right?
I mean, that would be fitting. 10-10. That would be awesome. Or 9-9. 3 field goals each team.
Exactly.
No, 9-9 and one team misses the extra point. That's how I'm calling it now.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But, I mean, everything you said, I think the defenses will come to play. I don't think the quarterbacks will be great. Gabriel struggle here and there. We'll have 20 interviews, 20 comments on Shador in the middle of the game to distract you from how bad it is. This is a train wreck of a game everyone's going to get up early to see. And I'd be shocked if either team gets to 20 points, So
I mean, I'll almost be shocked if they get to 20 points together. I mean, it's an international game. The play is always slow anyway, right?
Right.
The scores are always way lower than they would normally be. And, 37 feels high. And so, again, in the league today, that is insane.
Yes.
But, with what they have going on, but no, I'm with you. I mean, realistically, if you picked a team, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's why, I started off with the Vikings, and then I just kind of went with the Browns just because. Maybe Gabriel shows out, but I think the defense – what's up? One of my favorite Georgia Bulldogs, Enrique. What's up, man? But that's how I ended it with Cleveland. There's not a whole lot of, great thought to it. Could this happen? Will I be upset if the Vikings – I would be shocked if it's like a Vikings blowout. I'll just say that much. I think Cleveland's defense keeps them in it enough, and they make – maybe they make a play, maybe they don't, but –
See, I think it's actually a step even further than that because you have 4 offensive linemen out. The Browns can win it just because the defense shows up.
Mm-hmm. The
If Vikings win, no tie. Yeah, I mean, we all hope for no tie because they suck.
Yes.
But
yes. That was awful, by the way. I know we're not talking about it, but that was awful. No, we talked about it.
It was the worst. 80 points and a tie. Like, what are we even doing right now?
Yes.
And we appreciate you coming in to show support.
Yes, sir.
Be sure to like and subscribe. So, all right. So let's move off of that dumpster fire and head to another one. We have the Texans, who have played awesome, headed to Baltimore. Texans are a 2-point favorite here, over under a 40.5. 69% are on the Ravens, but that was before Lamar was ruled out, right? So that is a current number, but I'm betting that most of these people locked this in prior to Lamar getting ruled out. And so I've gone back and forth on this one too. And
I can see it.
Baltimore is the better team, but Lamar is what makes this happen.
Right.
And I kind of want to roll with the Texans here, even though I have it locked in as the Ravens currently. This is one where I might live change it. And I think this is a game the Texans can steal because the Ravens have been terrible. Like their defense is the worst defense I've seen them have in at least a decade.
Yeah.
And then you had so many mistakes on the offensive side. But now you're looking at an offense without Lamar, who's the X factor of this thing.
Right. And no respect for Cooper Rush?
Weirdly, no. But at the same time, we watched him win 5 games in a row in Dallas when Dak was out.
Yeah.
It's not like
but to be fair, a system he had been in forever at Dallas versus this. If I had it, I mean, outside of last week's explosion by the sorry, Raj.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
Actually, Wednesday morning.
You're still late. we did one in the afternoon, and you still didn't get here.
No, it's just because outside of this one game, what are they averaging? Like 13 points a game for the offense? You know, does a terrible Ravens defense help fix that? Do I trust them all of a sudden?
So if we go over some of those numbers, right? When it comes to the defense for the Ravens, they are 32nd in points allowed, letting up 33.3 points per game, which is insane, especially when you think of just the history of the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Because even when they couldn't figure the offense out, they figured the defense out. But at the same time, the Texans' offense is ranked 29th. So,
and only 29th because they hung 26 on the Titans. You know, before that,
they were probably last.
Right? Yeah, they had 51 points in the first 3 games.
So then, to make it even more hilarious, you go to the other side. The offense of the Ravens is 3rd in points, putting up 32.8. But the defense for the Texans is 1st on defense, giving up only 12.8 points a game. So you have strength against strength and weakness against weakness. So this game is probably going to be a dogfight, but also still terrible somehow. Yeah. And so I guess I'm going to keep my I don't feel confident about any of this. Like this is a terrible one.
No.
But Cooper Rush can win you a game.
Yes.
And the Texans haven't shown us anything that makes you think they can move the ball. So I guess I'm going to leave my pick because I get burned every time I change one.
And that was basically it for me. I knew the defense will come to play for the Texans, and I just don't think Cooper Rush will make that many mistakes. Maybe they'll feed Henry a couple extra times, play the punt game. You don't fear anything from the Texans' offense for real. As bad as their defense has been, you still feel like you'll accidentally stop them a couple times, you know? So I'm going to give that and a little bit of home field. And like I said, Cooper Rush at least is a veteran it can't be as bad as what they were running out there when Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley was out there and they weren't scoring anything. So I'm going to give it to Baltimore on that one. So
yeah, I mean,
but again, this is not a game I would want to watch, and I like both teams, but
see, and that's the worst part is I'm gonna have to watch all of these, and
I feel like you can skip a whole quarter in this game and come back and be in the same situation. What did I miss? Oh, 3 punts? Game.
Well, so because I'm not going to watch this one live, because that won't be the regional game, and you can't effectively really watch a bunch of games at one time. So that's where my NFL Plus comes in, and then I actually break them down. But this one, I might look at the box score a little bit, and then pick and choose where I watch this game rather than watching it in its entirety, because it's going to be ugly. It's not going to be a fun watch. So yeah, it's probably going to be that, right? Yeah, probably don't need to worry about watching it on a red zone because you'll miss the whole game. But
red zone has not flipped. You know how red zone does that one thing where they'll flip over to a game that's not actually in the red zone and just show you, all right, here's a key third down.
Yeah,
30-10 again. He missed it, so they'll punt.
They feel bad because they know it's trash. Speaking of another game, again, like this early slot is rough. We have the Dolphins at the Panthers. I actually like Carolina here, and 56% of the U.S. on the Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 1 point. The money line. If you're
favored by the Panthers by 1, you've hit rock bottom.
Well, that's on the road, though. That's on the road. So that's actually 4 points, technically. Over under a 45. And interestingly enough, the money line has a negative number for both teams, which is not super common, although it kind of has been this year for some reason. And so we are looking at if you pick the Dolphins to win outright, they are a minus 118. The Panthers to win outright is a minus 102. Obviously, it's a 1 point spread. So if you took the Panthers +1 and you have them winning, well, you win. And then if you have the Dolphins winning, you also just win because a 1 point differential is oddly enough the number required to win a game.
Basically, the odds makers went, I don't know, man.
And it's funny because when you see this, it's like it might as well just been a 0.
Yeah. Out of respect for Raj, I still went with Miami, but there's no real logic to it as far as the pick. Like Enrique's over here saying Carolina would be my pick. I don't feel like you want to pick Carolina. I just feel like you want to pick against the team. If I pick Carolina, it means I'm picking against the Dolphins. If I pick Dolphins, I'm picking against Carolina because you can't really have faith, in either one of these teams.
No.
I really thought this might have been, this is like a make or break year for Bryce. And I think even in their win against Atlanta, they put up 30 points. And I think he had 130, 140 yards. Exactly. Bryce is going to be on a new team soon. Yeah. And it's like Enrique says, zero faith. I guess in his Carolina pick, I have zero faith in my Dolphins pick, especially once you lose Tyreek Hill. But you would think on paper they still have the better team. But what does that mean in
no, exactly. And I mean, let's be honest. The Dolphins have been awful. So, I mean, really, the first 3 games of the Sunday slate is terrible, right? So this is where when we were doing our Survivor picks, I was just like, man, I don't know. We got a lot of terrible games.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but I'm going to take the Panthers here. My friend Sonia will be happy about that. She's a huge Panthers fan. And so I'm going to give her some love there. I can't even roll with the Dolphins, especially now that Tyreek's done, because he was the only thing that was good last game. I mean, It was a good thing he survived until the third quarter. So,
and now you have to. I mean, like I said, the water can Waddle step up? Can he be your number one? Can he be healthy? You still have a lot of speed on that team, but
no question.
So many question marks. Yeah.
I mean, so then when you're looking at your main weapon is gone, and then you have the defense that they have, You're just like, And the Panthers, although have done nothing of note on offense, their defense isn't horrible. And the one thing that they are good at on defense is pass defense. So, and Waller he was actually, he looked like the old Waller. So, but of all the bad numbers that the Panthers have, they're ranked 9th when it comes to pass defense. And the only thing that the Dolphins do well is pass the ball. Right. And their main target is out.
I picked the Panthers once this year against the Falcons. I just don't know that I have it in me to do that again.
I picked against them there. And Atlanta gave me a bad bad deal there every single week, actually. Yeah. So thanks Atlanta.
Somebody already sent out a comment, right? Don't pick Atlanta too. And was that Enrique also? Yeah,
it was.
Don't pick the Falcons. Yeah.
And I'm not. But we're not to that game quite yet. But I did pick against them. Now we have the Raiders going to Indy. 97% of people on Indy here. Indy is a 7-point favorite. Over under 48. I like Indy. I like them to cover this. And it's not going to be because I think they're that much better of a team. I think the Raiders are that undisciplined as a team.
Yes.
And they create so many problems for themselves that I'm going to go with that's probably the main difference. I did like what we saw out of Indy against the Rams, though. I understand it was a loss, and they had a couple of issues. You know, obviously their fumble going into the end zone, and then their fumble later in the third quarter. You know, those were huge moments. But if they don't make those two problems, they win that game against a team that most people think is going to win the West. So I like what we've seen out of the Colts. I haven't liked what we've seen out of the Raiders. I thought they were going to be a little bit more fun to watch, but they haven't really got Genty going. Geno Smith has been throwing to everybody else. So
what happened? That I did not expect that. I thought Geno would take a little bit better care of the ball, you know?
Yeah. No, I didn't have Geno throwing a ton of picks on my bingo card. Yeah. Like I thought he was going to take care of the ball the way he did here in Seattle. And that has not been the case. So
and he looks shocked when he throws it, like he can't believe that happened. Like, you know, that was a bad pass, bro. Like it's like the third time we're watching it happen. So
like you're like, dude, you stared down that defender. Yeah. And then you're like, how did he catch it? It's like, well, I mean, you looked at him and then you threw it.
So I definitely thought they'd be a feistier team. MVP candidate Daniel Jones is going to lead the Colts to win in this one.
That just, yeah. What are we doing right now?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Whenever you leave New York, whether it's the Jets or the Giants, you just get better.
That is a real thing, right? And that's why Miami took the flyer on Zach Wilson, right? Honestly, he's hoping Tua goes down because Zach Wilson's going to light it up. Like,
yeah. Can you see in the interview the guy's like, "Look, guys, in New York," and they're like, "Stop. You don't have to say anything. We're signing you. We're good."
But yeah, there's not a lot to talk about there. That game's going to be terrible. I think the Colts are going to beat them up. The fact that they can't get Genty going doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
I mean, I understand their offensive line isn't awesome, but it's not as bad as we've seen it.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird – maybe they'll figure it out as the year goes on. And since I picked the Colts, you know, they're probably going to win. But
I just don't know that because Bowers hasn't been playing great. They can't get Genty going, and Geno's throwing picks. Yeah, it's just a bad combination. Because this Colts team that's playing well, you know?
No, exactly. Yeah, and their defenses look good. And Geno's had 2 games out of the first 4 with 3 picks. I mean, you're just not going to win games that way. So, I got the Colts, but so does everybody else, which worries me. All right. So sticking in the early slot on Sunday, we have another game that's just rough. We got the Raiders, or not, we got the Giants heading into New Orleans. I do have the Giants winning this game. New Orleans is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And the spread of the picks isn't as big as you would assume it would be, though. Only 69% on the Giants here. The Saints are a 2.5-point favorite at home, which is interesting to me. And over under a 42. Now, the Giants defense hasn't looked as good as we thought they would, right? We thought that was going to be the hallmark of that team. And Neighbors is hurt. So, I mean, like there's issues with the Giants, except they're playing the Saints, which is like a JV team at a D2 school. So I don't think this is going to be an absolute beatdown, but I do think the Giants win outright.
Yeah. I think this will be another one of those ugly games that we're talking about there. The Neighbors thing bothers me, but I don't trust any Saints quarterback, no matter who they trot out there. And that's the biggest thing to me. I feel like Jackson Dart will make one more play, than anybody on the other side, and that's what gets this one done. Otherwise, I have no faith in anything else going. Another one of those games where even if they're scoring a touchdown, I don't know the red zone wants to go over there because none of the Giants' skill position has been doing well, but I just can't. It's like, are we saying the Saints? The Saints do play the Panthers twice, right? So
they're not going to go 0-17. I mean, it would be funny. It would be funny.
I think they could split with the Panthers. I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got.
They're going to get one or two. Like, they're going to accidentally win a game or two. I don't think they're going to be the first. I don't think
they're going to trip up and go, oh, we scored.
No, it's going to be the team is like, oh, we're playing the Saints, but we got the Bills next week. And I think it'll be a trap game kind of situation that ends up getting them a win. It's not going to be because they deserve to win, because their roster does not say that they deserve to win. But I don't think they're going to be the first 0-17 team. I don't think they're going to be the third completely defeated team. So
completely defeated.
Again, I think they're going to steal one game, maybe two, but they are terrible. So
will they be the first team that you pick against all 17 games?
Oh, 100%. Whatever game they get right, I'm getting burned on.
Yeah.
So, it's they do get Taysom Hill back. So, that's one of those you're saying there's a chance. But it's not a big one.
Does Taysom Hill want to be back, or are they making him come back?
Right? I think I would be like, oh, no, I'm still injured.
What did I tell you guys was hurting? My foot? Foot still hurts. Other foot? Other foot still hurts.
No, 100%. It's if I was, that's probably actually why Tyreek Hill looked so excited when he got hurt. He's like, you know what? Yes. I'm done. I'm out. By the time I get back, my contract is up. I played just enough games in this season for it to count. So, it's.
I mean, he's right about that. They did hang with Buffalo for a while. I don't know if that says a lot about them or their fight or Buffalo's defense, but, I think when you have a terrible team, though, there is a certain part of you, once you get to 0-8, 0-9, it's no longer a trap game because nobody wants to be your first win. So then I think teams start to focus a little bit more.
You would think that, but there are teams that will kind of look past you. They're like, oh, no, we're good enough that we can get by this.
Scott. He's on one of my fantasy teams.
So the did not practice, I saw that. But the thing is if you have a guy that's limited and they want you to play, a lot of times they won't have you practice all week. They'll have you be in the classroom doing the mental reps, stuff like that. But they won't always have you out there getting beat up if you're coming back from an injury, but they want you for Sunday. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Where I would be worried isn't so much did not practice now. It will be if he has a doubtful designation on Friday. That'll be the one that Like if I were looking at him for for fantasy reasons, I probably wouldn't play him. But I would look at his designation as far as whether or not he's questionable or doubtful. Because if it's doubtful, then it's a whole different issue. But a midweek did not practice doesn't worry me. If he doesn't practice on Friday, which is just a walkthrough, that's a little more concerning.
Good info. Especially for people like Herb who have Brock Bowers, one of their teams.
Oh, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, like that'll be fine.
Fate of the universe and all that stuff.
Work out. And continuing on our morning garbage game slate, like this early hour is just I'm gonna have to get hammered to watch this. Like
you had me at hammered. What'd you say? You had me at hammered.
I mean, well, you got to remember these are morning games here on the West Coast, right? So these
right.
These are those mimosa games. You're having some breakfast and some drinks, and because it's not day drinking if you don't start early. So
I like how I'm gonna be drinking at 10 o'clock your time. I mean, 10 o'clock, yeah, and I'll be like 10 o'clock my time. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
And my wife's gonna be like, "Why are you drinking?" I'm like, "Well, Bo said he's got to start drinking it." Look, babe, I'm doing it for Bo.
Yeah, that's right. So literally, you're just throwing me under the bus all the time. I like it. Pretty much. Love you, man.
Never coming to visit, as it turns out.
No, you probably shouldn't.
But speaking of this next trash game, it is the Cowboys versus the Jets, and this one is the Cowboys are a 2.5 point favorite. 47.5 is the over under. 89% on the Cowboys here. The Jets aren't playing as bad as that record would indicate. But what they have done is played terrible in moments that have lost them games, because their offense has actually been the better part of their team, which is interesting when you think about it. That defense is severely underperforming. And if they didn't make as many mistakes, not just in the penalty area, but as far as turnovers, they probably have 2 wins. And so it's tough to pick against them, but I'm sure gonna. They get in their own way so much. I know I'm going to get burned on the Jets at some point, and it might be this week, but I can't feel good about picking them.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either. And honestly, Dak, for as much crap as we give him, in his first game against what's supposed to be a tough, I know it took a while to get going, but without CeeDee Lamb, I thought they really had no shot against Green Bay. Has that game even started? Because ties don't count in my mind. So they played again, right? Like, don't they start over? But and I agree with that. I do think as bad as the Cowboys defense has been at times and as good as their offense has been, I could see that being a high-scoring game. I think just Fields, is still getting it done with his legs. I didn't realize he's a lot quicker than I thought.
Well, but you do have to keep in mind, and their offense hasn't been awesome. It's like 19th in points. I mean, it's not like it's been great. But you don't have CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys.
Right.
So, I mean, that is a major miss.
But they didn't have him for the last game when they put up some points. I think they can do it.
Yeah, so I'm with you. But the other thing to keep in mind,
the Jets
defense for the Cowboys is 31st in total points allowed. So, I mean, they give up points. It's going to be another ugly game. I wouldn't put money on a single morning game in the slate. Like, if you have money you want to throw away, just send it to the show. It'll help us out.
Yeah. Wait. Send it to this part of the show. So then somebody said, Robert said, I need to get out there. Robert, my GoFundMe will be open and you guys can give me.
Well, I obviously can't go there.
You're going to call me from Herb. I'm here. Meet me around the corner.
Do you have any nondescript hotels that I can stay at? So if your wife is watching, none of that is true. This is This is not my fault.
She's been married to me long enough to know that it's probably all my fault.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't. So yeah. Yes, at the payphone.
Exactly. The payphone down the street, 100%. All right.
So I have to see what other lies I can cook up on you by the time the show ends.
So this is the one morning slate game that might actually be interesting, and that is the Broncos headed into Philly. This one will be a fun watch. I'm hoping this is the game that we get. It should be, but Eagles are only a 3.5 point favorite at home.
Seems fair.
Over under a 43.5. There's been some major letdowns with this Eagles team. So when it comes to offensive production per half, the worst two halves in football are both owned by the Eagles. In fact, last week they had no offensive pass yards in the second half of the game. Now, they still won the game, and so they're finding ways to win despite the fact that they haven't been great. In fact, if you look at Jalen Hurts' numbers, he's not even a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's really my guy, but it's been bad.
Yeah. If you've had him for fantasy, you're just like, oh, well, I mean, Like,
so, the fantasy is him getting like more than 3 targets in a game.
For real. Yeah. No, but I mean, especially when you think of offensive production, right? Total yards, 30th. Passing yards, 32nd. Rushing yards, 16th. Somehow, 7th in points. Right, which is the stat that matters, right? The points is the biggest part. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough to maintain that 7th if you continue having bottom, like 3 or 4 of the league everywhere else when it comes to offensive production. This really lets you know that defense is scoring points. And so if their offense can't figure out how to start clicking, this is not going to be an undefeated team. Like this is a team that really starts to run into some problems. When you look at the defense on the other side, the Denver defense is good, right?
Right.
Total yards, 10th. Total passing yards, 13th. Total rushing yards, 11th. Points allowed, 2nd in the league. So then when you have an offense that really needs their defense to create points, and then they're going to go up against a defense that doesn't allow you to score. And then their offense isn't terrible either, right? Like it's 9th in total yards, 16th in points. So, I mean, it's kind of middle of the road there. Rushing yards, they're 5th. So, I mean, they got a solid running game. I want to take the Broncos here.
Right. I can see it. I took Tampa Bay, and I got burned. So
it's different, though, because the Eagles have – consistently played with the lead, right? They haven't had to come back in these games.
True.
Tampa Bay has had to come from behind in every single game. So you knew they were going to get burned by it. So I'm going to go with the Eagles to get this done only because it's at home. If this was in Denver, I'd have picked the Broncos to make it happen. Yeah. I'm going to take the Eagles at home only because they've found ways to win even when they should.
Yeah. The way the Eagles offense looks, first down just seems so key. If it's like 2nd and 10, I think they're punting. You know, I don't have any faith in them when they have the ball right now. You know, that Rams game just seems like a huge, huge fluke. I didn't think they were really built to come from behind, you know, huge chunks the way they did, especially the way, I mean, AJ Brown should not be getting 2 targets in a game for 7 yards. Like these are not things that should be happening, you know, unless Saquon has 200 yards rushing. Exactly. These are not things that should happen. So it just seems like they're still in preseason mode, but you're winning games. So it's like, well, do we go away from this? No, we're going to try, you know, to win games with 100 yards passing every game and disgruntled. You know, now, to his credit, he did come out and say, hey, look, I'm not mad at the team. But can you really honestly blame him, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Like, I actually get why he's frustrated. But
yeah, I did. Absolutely.
You can't be outwardly frustrated when you win. Right? Like if you lost and you're like, well, I got 2 touches, so what did you expect? But when you get 2 touches and you win, that's where you're just like, well, I mean, like we won.
Right.
So, you know.
I don't know. I'm like him. And so like what Robert said, does AJ Brown get right this week? I don't think it's on him. You know, we saw one game where he had over 100 yards when they needed. Was that against the Rams where they needed him? They went to him. He got tough yards. I don't think it's on him to get right. I don't think he's running worse routes all of a sudden. I don't think he's less open. Sure. You know, they're not targeting him. They're not putting a priority on the passing game. I don't think it's on him. So will he get right? Will he not? I have no idea. The Denver defense is not a defense you want to try to get right against, I wouldn't think. But
no, definitely not.
I'm still picking Philly, but if Denver won, I wouldn't be shocked. Like at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like I'm picking the Eagles, but if Denver wins, I'm be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right. This next game, this one's going to be easy to go over because the Cardinals are going to beat up on the Titans. The Cards are a solid team. They're inconsistent. They're the Cardinals, right? But the Titans are terrible, and you have their quarterback out there putting some awesome sound bites. So, I don't even have to go through all the things that are wrong with the Titans because we just don't have that much time on this show. So
here's how I'm going to do my pick. The Cardinals have beat the Saints and the Panthers. They lost to the 49ers and Seahawks.
Yeah.
There's a clear pattern.
They should beat up on the Titans. Yeah.
They'll beat up on the Titans.
Yeah. So this next one is my game of the week. And this is probably why it's my game of the week actually isn't a homer pick. This is just this is probably going to be the best game of the weekend. And our game of the week is brought to you by True Fusion Gym. Get a free 5-day pass at any of the 3 locations, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village, using that QR code on the screen. Go in, do Pilates boot camp, yoga bar, and more. Find your edge at True Fusion Gym. All right. So this one's going to be an awesome game. It's going to be a battle. I took a little bit of a homer pick as far as taking the Seahawks. I think the difference is the fact that they're at home. But the Bucs, again, they've shown resiliency as far as being able to come back in every game. So you can never count them out. Baker's really found his niche there in Tampa Bay. But I do like Seattle. We have most of our guys back. They're a 3.5-point favorite at home, so just a little bit better than the home field advantage of 3 points. The defense only giving up 16.8 points a game, I think, is the deciding factor here for Seattle. They have the second best defense, and something that people really aren't talking about. And there's a ton of injuries when it comes to the Tampa Bay side. So obviously, like Rob said, Evans is out. But they actually have quite a few people that are questionable and kind of beat up.
Bucky Irving too as well, questionable. Yeah, with Evans out.
I fully expect most of these people to play. So the questionable designation doesn't mean much to me. Like I feel like most of them are going to play. When I look at a injury report and it shows like a foot or a knee or anything like that, I'm not worried about it. When I see a hamstring or a calf, that's where I'm like, yeah, these guys are probably not going to play, or if they do, they're on a pitch count. But if it's like Mike Evans if he was questionable with his hamstring, I still wouldn't feel good about it, right? Now, obviously, he's totally ruled out. But when you look at most of their injuries, it's more like hard part injuries instead of muscle injuries. So when I say that, it's the knee, it's the foot, it's stuff like that, the hip. But when you start seeing like a groin, a hamstring, a calf, that's where you're like, yeah, these guys are probably not going to go, or if they do, very limited. So I would bet most of these questionable guys are going to play. I don't think they have enough to get past Seattle, though.
Yeah, it's sad because my first click was Tampa Bay because just the ability to stay tight in games. But the more we listen to this, and I guess I would have 15 minutes, like I don't see a reason to not pick Seattle in this game. You know what I mean? I can't make a credible argument for Tampa Bay already with the injuries and just the way they kind of play each game. You can't continue to live on the edge and try to come back, and it's just exhausting. You know how that is. It takes a toll on you forever. So I just don't you know what? I'm doing it. Seahawks at home. I mean, with the added edge to that too, with Evans being out, even Irvin, like you said, banged up. I mean, he'll play. Baker will play, but
Yeah, Baker's
I
going to
think
play.
there's too much to overcome, I would think.
Even if he had to glue his foot back on, Baker's going to play. So,
yeah. You know what? My favorite moment from Baker this year was making a run, getting hurt, the opponent's trash talking. All of a sudden, I'm well again. Let me pop up to talk a little trash.
100%. Yes.
Medical staff running out like, oh, you're good? Okay, you're good.
All right, so the next one, we got the Lions at the Bengals. We don't even really have to talk about this. Bengals are about to get smoked by the Lions. The Lions are mostly healthy, and the Bengals, even when healthy, are bad. 10.5-point favorite for the Lions, and I believe they cover.
Yeah, as aggressive as they are, and they're on a mission now to show everybody Week 1 was a fluke. Yeah. Yep. You know, I can see them putting up 50 in this spot just because they want to. So fake punt in the fourth quarter, up by 40, just because.
Yep. We got Washington heading into wherever the Chargers are.
St. Louis? I don't know.
Right? Yeah. No, it's weird to call them LA.
Yes.
But this is another one where I was kind of torn. The Chargers, it was a bad loss last week, and Washington is starting to get healthier. So they do still have key components that are out. Terry McLaurin being the biggest piece of that's out. They do have, they do have their quarterback back, which is, huge. I'm still going with. I still want to call him San Diego. This is so bad.
Diego. Go for it. I knew who you meant.
I'm still going.
He's picking the Padres to win it, guys. Picking the Padres.
Right, that's right. And Rob, I'm with you. It's the Chargers the whole way.
I do. I think so too. For a running quarterback, your first game coming back from any kind of injury, I'm always like, are you 100%? Did you get all the work that you needed done? Like you said, not having McLaurin always scares me. I don't know that Debo's going to be as big a factor as they need. And the Chargers, you've got something to prove after erasing. You need to erase last week's loss.
Yes.
I think Harbaugh will have them. Is he the good Harbaugh now? Harbaugh will have them focused. I think they win this game at home.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah, no question.
No question that he's a good Harbaugh, or no question that they win.
Yes, just all of that. Yeah. And then, of course, we have the Patriots going into Buffalo.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Patriots about to get beat up. I mean, that being said, Vrabel's going to have his team ready to rock, but they're not going to be able to keep pace with the Bills. You can score on the Bills, though. It's not like their defense is awesome. So, I mean, this game isn't going to be ridiculous, but the 8-point spread feels about right. I think the Bills probably win by 10. And over under a 50, again, that seems right. You can score on the Bills, so the Patriots aren't going to get blanked out of this game or anything. They're going to put up some points, but I'm going to go with the Bills get it done at home. Yeah.
Are you surprised that there's already been hey, Stephon Diggs doesn't know the whole playbook talk and chatter this week from the coach?
I mean, he's been good for them though. Like he's played well. He hasn't been a huge distraction as soon as the season started. So, I mean, I understand it's a contract year for him, so he has to kind of fall in line because he wants to get paid again. But he has been decent there. Not going to be enough though.
No, Bills win this one.
And then we have Monday Night Football. KC heading into Jacksonville. 2-2 versus 3-1. 82% on KC here. They do have Xavier Worthy. They do not have Rashee Rice, though. He comes back next week. Or does he miss next week and come back week 7? I'll have to look. But in either case, the Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite. I want to take the Jags, but I'm not. The Jags are
October 19th is when Rashee Rice comes back. Week 7 game against the Raiders.
Okay. Yeah, so it's through week 6. So yeah, I mean I want to take the Jags because they've been okay, and
KC's been all over the place. I think the slow start for KC was more of an aberration, and they take care of business here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't know that I'll ever trust Trevor Lawrence fully, especially with teams with the pulse. I figure I'm either getting a fumble or an interception, maybe both in this game from him that'll tilt it in their favor. And I trust KC even in a down year to be steadier. I'm not going to pick against Patrick Mahomes in this one. I feel like they're on a little bit of an upswing. So I like them in this game. And I don't know if I'm picking for Patrick Mahomes or against Trevor Lawrence, but I just don't know that whole thing is, I just don't think. And I see their record, but I'm like, Trevor's
let's be honest. It's door number 2. You're picking against Trevor Lawrence. You don't have to lie.
I really am.
You know what it is.
I really am.
Sorry for you, Travis, if you're watching, but man, I can't get behind the Jags. I need to see more out of them. And,
yes.
Maybe this is that week. Maybe this is the week they show us something that we can feel good about, but I just don't yet. So I'm going to go KC on Monday night. And that's our Pickem show. Herb, tell them how they can find you.
Herb and Raj podcast, as you see right there. You can look us up on YouTube, as we kind of said earlier, Wednesday night show, Saturday night show, several videos, and on Twitter at Raj_Herb. Come check us out, man. Always a pleasure being on here. Thank you guys for sure.
Absolutely. And of course, if you are watching on any of the platforms, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Our sponsors appreciate it as well. Other than that, we are going to get out of here. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the game tonight and the games this weekend. If you're playing along with us, be sure to get those picks locked in. Otherwise, you're going to get a 0, and it is tough to win when you do that. Otherwise, take it easy, everybody. See you next time.